terms of like moral obligations, our moral obligations to AI. What's your take on it?
It's really hard for me to say in this particular moment. I'm not sure, but I don't think we have obligations to AI because, like, I think ChatGPT is not conscious. Not in my view. It's not. It's doing cool stuff for what it is, but it's not. It's not at that level yet. I think it's really important for us to deal with the ethical issues that we have right now. And it's always good to think about the ones that might come up on the horizon, but we have so many that are going on currently that it's probably, let's start with the problems that we already have.
Which problems like on top of your mind?
I think the ones that are on top of my mind is the question about, when it comes to things like ChatGPT, how are people interacting with this thing? And how is the technology that we're currently designing and deploying, how is it maybe making problems that we already have worse? And I think we should be sort of mindful of that. And then what are the responsibilities, the moral responsibilities of people who design and deploy these kinds of things, especially if they know that there's a potential for safety concerns? What point do they start thinking of themselves as responsible? And for not just thinking about and I think it's helpful to think about safeguards. I think that's good. But my hope would be, like you said earlier, it seems like that's always a reaction. And so I think that's a sign that maybe what we need to do is start thinking more about, when we're designing this stuff, how are we thinking about the human beings who are actually going to interact with it? And how are we thinking about their vulnerabilities? And how are we thinking about them as moral people to whom we owe obligations, right? So, I mean, to me, it's the questions that we're sort of wrestling with at the moment are questions about how technology interacts with the human world, and how, and what are those obligations that we have now to each other. I would like for us to think about those. For me, those are really the pressing things at the moment.